This podcast is brought to you by Fandom Spotlight. Check us out at fandomspotlight.com. Have fun and follow your fandom.
Last time on Dragon Ball for Life.
Brother Matt.
Yes, sir.
I mean, at this point, you know what time it is. 10 seconds on the clock.
What time it is,
and, you know, every single time I do this, I don't even have the timer ready. So, look, I was the one that wasn't ready.
behind the scenes peak, I deadass count 10 Mississippis when it's your
yeah,
turn.
I mean, like, I obviously could probably do that too. But you know what? We official out here.
I'd be like under the camera counting with my fingers. Like
One Mississippi, two Mississippi.
Yeah, every time.
Bet. Well,
Hilarious.
In that case, then I will use my iPhone. So, are you ready, sir?
Product placement. I'm ready.
You see me? All right. In 3, in 2, 1, let's get it.
All right, so we find out that Maris isn't really the Fez. He's an angel, so we can rock with Bull again. Vegeta's on yard drag getting his power on, and he beats up a Zarbon guy again.
Wow, you even had a second to spare. Whoa, that was loud.
Big me.
But hey, we here. Let's get the show started. Yippity yip, yeah. It's the kid troll told Trav.
Giddy. And it's Mr. Matty Ice, Bro G, the Prince of all sayings, Matthew Porter.
You know me. I stay chillin', and I love thy women like Krillin. And you know what? I don't play the harp, but look, I go hard like Super Saiyan Sharp, boy.
Love that, man.
What's up with it?
Mr. Saying A. Smith himself.
And you know, to my right, I got.
You know me. Y'all know me. I just said it. I'll say it again, though. You know what I mean?
didn't say your DB4L ones, though.
You right. All right, we'll give them the whole thing. We giving them both intros today. Double
Listen,
dose.
man,
double
we getting
dose.
it.
So anime, we have your attention, please, like we do every week, and we love y'all for it. It is us, the Fusion Dance Dawns, whatever your the main gods. You already know it is I, Rojita, the Prince of all sayings, Mr. Matthew Porter, and we are here for another grand episode of Dragon Ball for Life, where you come for the content, but you stay for the culture. Yes, we are talking Goku and Soul Food. We are talking Supreme Kai wearing Supreme clothing. We are mixing the DBZ up with some EBT.
Mix it up.
Covering manga and anime for people that might owe a little something to Sally Mae. How are you, good brother Trav?
Listen, man, I'm actually looking forward to breaking down this chapter. It was actually, one of the more interesting ones. Even though it was definitely action heavy, but we saw some old favorites get some shine in this one, and you know, we want everybody to eat. We want the whole team to eat, just like RDC World. We want everybody to eat.
Let Booby spin.
You know what I'm saying?
Let Booby spin.
But
do we want to tell them about the format change now, or do we want to save that to the end?
Hey, we at the top of the morning. Not really, because it's at nighttime, but
they don't know that.
But yeah, let the people know, Mr. Porter, what we came out of our action meeting.
Absolutely. So as me and my good brother Trav have discussed, these next couple chapters are going to be very dialogue light and action heavy, and we are rapidly approaching the end of the Moro arc. It feels like just yesterday when we started this. So, you know, thank you guys for joining us on the journey. So after today's episode, starting episode 15 until we get through the arc, we are just going to punch through this bad boy, and we're going to give you guys a double dose of chapters per episode until we finish out this arc. That is right. We are going to be covering not one, but two chapters per episode. You can thank us now. Insert silence for applause.
Yes, sir. But yes, so as we get closer to ending this arc, we're gonna have something special for y'all once we wrap up the Moro arc. So like LeBron said, where he said, "I appreciate y'all going on this journey with me. Matter of fact, here go 2 more for y'all."
2 more. 2 more. You're welcome.
But it's actually kind of interesting with the timing of this episode, this episode, but this chapter that we're covering, because the people that are highlighted in this chapter are the stars of Dragon Ball Super Hero that just released in Japan. Now, I'm not gonna get into spoilers on this episode or this show, but the US version doesn't come out until August 19th. So if you have literally 0 internet connection and you have every single person that even thinks about Dragon Ball blocked, you're gonna see the spoilers. So, but all I'm gonna say is I'm pretty excited for it which was funny going into that movie when they first said, "Oh, it's gonna be all CGI and everything," but like, I've been hearing that it's actually some of the best animation for a Dragon Ball movie that people have seen. So, and I've seen clips from it.
Love to hear that.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, this actually looks pretty dope. And obviously, when the first few shots came out, it was unfinished product, so everybody was shitting on it. But so far, people have been saying, it feels very Dragon Ball-esque, like it's back to the essence of mix of goofiness, funny, action, but also a story to tell. And Piccolo was the first one of ROU, and in the movie Piccolo gets his shine, Gohan gets his shine. So hey, y'all, August 19th is when it drops in the US, and the DB4 Life is going to be there open night, so can't wait.
You are already snowed.
So with that being said, chapter 56, the Warriors of Earth assemble. What?
Wonder what this could possibly be about.
And the chapter starts, with the ZFighters. They all assemble in one location, getting ready to throw hands with they're with the Galactic Patrol, which was actually funny that, like, it's so funny in this arc that every single time the Galactic Patrol recruits anyone with them, they put the damn insignia on their outfits.
And it's funny you say that, because like my first thought is just like, y'all have time to embroider outfits, but like, y'all can't get y'all security down pat. Moro's goons have been ransacking literally the universe. Y'all haven't stopped not a one click.
Yo,
but y'all got time to stitch in your logo in people's geese. Like, cool.
The financial analyst for the Galactic Patrol probably is tight. Yo, why is all of our budget going to clothing? We need to up the security.
We had the most dangerous man in 10 million years just behind basic Reggie prison bars.
Yeah, but put the symbol on a stranger's gi. Like, okay, all right.
Jono said.
But
they all lace. I do like Tien and Chaozu's how it's like the center of this shirt.
Right.
I do think that's
it's just
kind of fire.
It's just so funny that like they had to do that, and we see a lot of old favorites join the fight. I was actually, contrary to he's pretty well loved just because of how goofy he is, but I was excited to see Yamcha in the fold. I feel like he'd been trying to fight.
Yamcha.
Yamcha.
Johnson.
I feel like my guy been trying to get in the game for the longest, and the coach is just not playing him. And he's finally like, yes, I get my 5 minutes of garbage time. Let's get it.
I was told by a DB4L fan, a family member. Shout outs to Yali.
Shout outs to Yali. At the top of the show too.
Had actually said at the top of the show. Now. Bang. She had said that Yamcha is actually a famous baseball player. Like, he is actually renowned for his baseball skills. And I'm still saying, if you anything less than like considered the GOAT with your skill set and power, and you playing against like normal humans, there's something wrong with you.
Right. unless he's trying to make the game more fun and challenging for him by just dumbing down his power. Because you low-key have to, because you would just be crushing home runs every single time to the point where you'd be getting intentionally walked every single time.
Facts. It's like when the ZFighters, the tournament, not the tournament of power, the world tournament in the Boo side,
yeah,
had to do the light punch.
and actually, now that I think about it, even if they did try to intentionally walk Yamcha, he's fast enough to then like switch over to the other side of the plate and just hit it still.
Exactly. Somebody just reach out.
He eventually gets banned from the league because like, yo, you just not making the game fun, bro. So yeah, maybe maybe he dumbs it down just to make it interesting.
I get it.
But so yeah, all the Z fighters we have Yamcha, Chaozu, Tien, Gohan, Master Roshi, Krillin, all ready, and then Jocko has him and the whole Galactic Patrol there waiting for Moro's goons to arrive. And as they're like, oh, I wonder what's gonna happen when they're gonna show up. Dende's asking Eska, our boy Eska, well, what
Eska, the real MVP.
Yeah. Like what kind of, what's actually so funny about this, where he was like, yeah, so what, it sounds like he's waiting for an Uber. He's like, so what ship is what does the ship look like when it gets here? And he says oh, it looks like a shapes like a top with little scout ships. And then Lord and behold,
Mr. Popo,
look up in the air.
Like, you mean like that?
Yeah,
one?
right there. And it's just like, Dende, how do you not sense ki? Like, can't you just be like, all right, well, when I sense a bunch of powers coming towards Earth, I'm just gonna assume that,
or not even not powers, but like presences.
He's supposed to be the quote unquote guardian of Earth, and he's asking like, yo, what's the ETA on my Uber? Like,
yes, he's essentially God. He's just like, yo, when should they be getting here? He can sense like trouble on Namek from light years away.
Right.
Like literally Moro's ship hovering over the lookout. He's just like, yo, what time should they get here?
Right. Do I got time to get in an episode of Dragon Ball Super real quick? Like, can I do that?
It was like the episode where Moro was hiding on the cliff like 10 feet away. They were like, where did he
say, yo, where he at? Where he at? And he's just like in the cut, like, dumb motherfuckers.
He's a yo.
So
my man really had to ship over the lookout, and then he's like, yo, where he at?
And then Eska like, just points up. He's like, yo, look up, boy.
Right there, sir.
Yeah, man. So the ship arrives, and when it does, though, it has these also miniature little like pods that all break out. Yep. And they all separate to different parts of Earth and just start causing chaos. And like, it's so funny because I don't know, sometimes Z-Fighters planning can be like just so off base. Like, hey, let's get everybody that we want to fight all in one location, because little did they know, Moro could have just wiped all of them out right there, or they could have had an attack plan where it's like, yo, y'all all gathered in one location and you really put a big ass target on yourselves. But hey, they were like, we're gonna make this interesting, we're gonna go to different parts of Earth and y'all gotta come find us. And I'm glad they did that.
You just made, and not only that, Trav, but it's just like, they don't know that Moro wants to fight Goku and Vegeta again. They just know he's on his way and that he can just zap planets from his ship. Like they're really, so it's just like you said, like they don't know that he like wants to fight them again to beat them up. Right. So it's just like they should be thinking like, damn, we know he can suck up Earth's energy from a distance.
And they were just one heaping ball of energy waiting for him. And like, they're honestly lucky that Moro, because Moro's on the ship, but he's like, I'm not gonna join your shit. This shit is nothing for me. Y'all light work. Yeah. But like, to your point, he really could have just been like, all right, they're all right there waiting for me.
And
so so they all split up and go to fight all these different goons. And I do like that, because we've been saying every single episode let the other characters get some shine. Like, even if they're just fighting these weak ass goons, like, yo, we want to see that, because if you're eating the same food over and over and over again, you're gonna get tired of it. So like,
facts.
I don't want to keep seeing Goku and Vegeta fighting over and over and over again, because like, all right, we know y'all some strong motherfuckers. That's cool, but
y'all do this. You got it.
Yo, you earned your stripes. You're solidified. We know.
Yeah, like my G. Like, all right.
Listen, man. So yeah, and then like, it's so funny, like when they separated. Oh no, when Moro's ship arrived and they were scattered all over the earth, they all acted so surprised. Gohan's like, Piccolo, what's happening? And then Jocko's like, oh man, dang it, they all are separating. And then Piccolo's like, of course, Piccolo is one of the smartest characters in Dragon Ball, but time and time after again in this arc, he's just like a step behind. Like, bro, what's wrong?
Not only that, Eska and Jocko both know that this ship has scouter ships that disconnect. Like, they both notice. They even say it. Like, when Eska's describing his ship, he's like, "Yeah, it's like a main ship that looks like a top that has little scouter ships."
And no one planned for like, hey, maybe they all won't land in the same place.
What if they break off?
Who would have thought that?
And I don't want to make this a thing, but we always make the joke that Toriyama. Namek is very Middle Eastern inspired. When Moro's goons break off, what's the first place they fuck up?
Namek.
Oh, no, I'm saying, look, on Earth, if you look at the first panel, when they break off.
Yo, nah. Yo, look, what is wrong with Toriyama, man?
The first place they touch down, for those who don't see it, the first place they touch down when Moro's goons get to Earth that they start ransacking, it looks like it's the Middle East.
Yo. We gotta get an interview with Toriyama and just find out what his experience in the Middle East has been, because there's something that happened that has left a sour taste in his mouth, because he just keeps shitting on them left and right.
Like from all like the Namek analogies and metaphors to now just actually destroying the Middle East.
You ask Toriyama what he cooks with, and he says water, not oil.
Facts. you just best not never offer him no halal food.
You're right.
His shit.
He said I could grow a beard, but I don't want to grow one because I don't want to apply any oil to it.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I mean, they all separate, Krillin and Roshi, they go off, and obviously it's funny who they pair. Like, Krillin gets the Batama looking bull, but then there's 3 female fighters, goons, whatever you want to call them, that are there, and they're like, hey, this seems boring. They seem weak. We're gonna go find somewhere else. And of course, Master Roshi said, where y'all going?
I got him. Ain't no problem.
Yeah, right. Man, he's like, hey, Krillin, you got this. I'm gonna go see where the honey's over there going. So, obviously classic Toriyama humor, classic Master Roshi gag humor. Like, oh, he's gonna go and fight. He's gonna go and follow the women. Supposedly in the Tournament of Power, he got over this muse of his, but hey, you know what? Roshi's gonna roast. I mean, when you live for what's he?
Roshi's
what's he, like 1,000 years old or something like that? Like,
he's up there. He's up there. And to speak on a total aside, it cracks me up to be as old as he is, to be as wise as he is, to be responsible for the training of who he has trained. The fact that he can't fly blows my mind.
Yeah, and it's so funny the way when he just hops around like that, and it's just like,
that's what I'm saying. Like in these panels, like Krillin has to piggyback him to the area that they go to fight because Roshi can't fly, and I'm like, how are you responsible for the training of Goku, Krillin, Yamcha, like Tien, Chaozu, who all can fly?
Yeah. Which I was just thinking,
but you can't fly.
Like Toyotaro's writing in the Tournament of Power, that was terrible, where Goku learned Ultra Instinct from remembering a Master Roshi technique. Like, come on, dog. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm so glad they changed that entirely.
That was like, if you got the freedom to write from Toriyama, you got to give that freedom back, because that was not it.
Yeah, so I'm so glad I saw the Tournament of Power anime before I read the manga, and I'm so glad that I did it in that way, because had I read the manga first and I knew that was coming up, I'm like, I don't want to watch this shit.
I actually think the manga came after the anime, which makes
did it?
Yeah,
really?
which makes it even worse.
Oh, that does make it
because at one point, I think the manga and the anime were like either close or,
I do remember,
but
they were
at
like
some point
similar.
the anime surpassed the manga. But yeah, when it got the Tournament of Power had already happened, and when we were reading the manga, it's like, yo, so you really decided to change it to, like, you had the ability to change it to anything, and this is the plot point that you I was like, Toyotaro, just stick to the action panels, because that was not a good decision.
That ain't it, Buck.
But so
I mean, they made up for it in spades with the Moro art.
yeah, he's like, all right, I got you, I fucked up, that's my bad.
I dropped the ball.
But before we continue, let's take a quick moment for a message from our sponsors.
Hi there, they call me the Governor, and I will be reacting to episodes of the final season of The Walking Dead, exclusively on the Fandom Spotlight YouTube channel. It's more fun than losing an eye, trust me on that. Check me out weekly when new episodes of The Walking Dead air. Have fun and follow your fandom.
All right, and we are back.
We back.
And guess who's back? OG73. That's right. As everybody scatters off, Gohan and Piccolo are like, oh, wow, everybody's going off the fight. And Piccolo's like, yeah, but we gonna stay here. So the little spiky man's, I don't know his name. I forget his name. So
forget it. So.
He's just a little gnat. Like, he just...
We're going to call him Spike.
Yeah.
We're going to call him Spike.
I just thought of Little Giants. Spike don't like.
Spike don't like this.
So when I first read these panels, I got pissed because OG73 shows up and grabs the back of Piccolo and Gohan's neck, and I was like, initially I was like, really,
easily too.
y'all really gonna let this happen? And so he was using a copy ability that he that he took of, where he was able to make himself invisible. So that's how he was able to sneak up behind Gohan and Piccolo. So now 7-3 has Gohan and Piccolo's abilities, and so, you know, as I was like initially reading this back when it first dropped, I'm like, here we go again.
That word.
But
as we saw this earlier.
Yeah, so, you know, he starts using special beam cannon. You know, he's doing, you know, he starts off with Piccolo's, you know, copy abilities, obviously. But turns out
he's like, I'm familiar with this one.
He's like, this sounds about right. But turns out Gohan and Piccolo actually prep for this, which, you know, good, because you have the two smartest fighters of the ZFighters here working together.
Correct.
So you would think they would come,
father and son.
Yeah, exactly. You'd think they would come up with a counter, which they did. So as 7-3 shoots the special beam cannon at Gohan and Piccolo, Gohan steps in and forms some sort of a key shield that blocks the special beam cannon.
Which looks fine.
Yeah, and like, look, like once they get to Earth in this arc, those episodes animated, I think, are going to be a fun portion of the arc.
Because I imagine animated, because, you know, for the sake of pages, a lot of these fights are like rushed. So
yeah,
I would imagine that a lot of these quick 1, 2, 3 page fights, like Piccolo's initial fight with 7-3 is probably going to be like a whole episode, like way longer. And same like with this one.
Yeah.
And I would imagine, or I'd hope that when they do the Earth chapters, like when everybody breaks off and do their own thing, I think it'd be dope if everybody gets their own episode.
Yeah, like if they have these fights that the other ZFighters have during this arc get a little bit more shine, I think that would be great, because when we get to it, they only have like a couple panels and then that's it. I mean, they make quick work of them, but even if it's like you have half of an episode of like Yamcha and his crew fighting, and then the other half of Krillin, Roshi, Tien, all of them, like that'd be good.
Exactly.
We don't need like a lot, but we need a little bit more than this. So but yeah, so Gohan has this key shield that blocks the 7-3 special beam cannon, which then Piccolo counters with his own special beam cannon through the key shield, and it breaks through, and the key shield then is pushed towards 7-3, and boom, hits him right at the side of his fucking neck.
Limbed him.
And then as this happens, everybody that's fighting, they see the special beam cannon fly through the air, and they're like, oh, there must be fighting happening there. Yeah, what? Yeah, no shit. You thought Gohan and Piccolo were just gonna be chilling? Yeah, like
like that's why we squatted up.
Right. So Spike is like, oh, shook, like, oh no, what's happening? And then all of a sudden, he's like, what's going on? And Gohan's like, ha ha ha, we planned for your copy abilities. And then
we was there and shooting in the gym.
And then somehow Spike knows that Gohan is the strong. Oh, that's right, because Gohan fought him before, fought 7-3 before. So he's like, hey, that guy is the stronger one that we should be using his power. Switch over to him. So 7-3 is like, bet. Switches over to Gohan's copy ability, and starts throwing like this. This was actually a cool like callback, because the technique that 7-3 was using in these next set of panels, I don't think has an official name, but it was when Gohan was on Namek as a kid, and he just rapid fires ki blasts at his enemies. And so I thought that was a cool callback, because I just thought of the Namek Sada way back in Dragon Ball Z days.
Yeah.
So
and it kind of looks like Piccolo's scatter shot that he was doing against 17.
Right. And I
again referencing his father.
And I do like to in the manga, and from not to say a lot, but from what I learned in the Dragon Ball Superhero, I like in the manga that that we see that Gohan knows a lot of Piccolo's techniques, because he was trained by Piccolo.
That's his dad.
Yeah, but in the anime, he does a lot of Goku moves. Just like, like
that's true.
I mean, like, that's cool, but we all know who really taught him.
Yeah, that is a really good point. I do like how the manga does cater to Gohan leaning more Piccolo, as opposed to Goku. Because I mean, if you do the math, Piccolo's been in his life longer as a living being, than Goku has. Essentially.
And the thing is,
it's just like if you take him, the 7-year death from the Cell Saga, his death in the Saiyan Saga, the time it took him to get to Namek, there's mad gaps when Goku's not there after and Piccolo is. So Piccolo got more dad hours clocked in than Goku at this point.
Right. It's like, yo, motherfucker, you just haven't been around.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, as he's doing the scatter shot, if we want to call it, Gohan is countering all of it, and then Piccolo, he counters.
He's stepping on him too, which was dope.
Which was like, that's gonna be also a cool shot when it's animated. Like, there's a lot of things happening in this chapter where it's like, oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to be a fun set of episodes. So, yeah, Gohan is like, hey, who knows this move better than me? Which is like so funny that like now all of a sudden this is happening, because when he first got copied,
Piccolo couldn't get this right.
I'm just saying, like, let's say if I'm playing basketball against my clone, I'm gonna know my moves. I'm gonna know where I'm going. So like maybe I should think of a counter. But finally it happens, and everyone, Jocko's getting a spike. I mean, a spike. Jocko's getting excited. Spike is getting shook, and he's like, what is going on? Oh shit, they know their own moves.
Gohan starting to feel himself too. He's like, yeah, I ain't never gonna lose to no copycat.
Listen, man, like once you get cocky Gohan back, like, all right, let's go. Like, we need that. Yeah. We need that. So, as it seems like the battle is turning into Gohan and Piccolo's favor, we then see, what's going on with our boy Yamcha?
OG Yamcha Johnson.
And he's making light work of his people too. And like, it's cool to see because every time we saw Yamcha post the Android saga, like once he got his body, like after the Android arc,
when he got a new hole.
Actually no, his L started with the Saiyan saga where he got blew up by where the Cybermen blew up on him.
Yeah,
and so the
Yamcha fetal position.
Yep, he been taking L's since. So it was cool to see my guy get a dub here and with ease. And actually, like he had I'm the captain now energy. Like he made light work of all them. He said, all right, who's up next? Who we got? So even if
you know what it was, he thought to himself because Yamcha's one of the only characters in the Dragon Ball universe that like changes appearance fairly regularly.
Yeah,
he was just like, low cut me just be taking mad L's. Like I take L's, period. But low cut me takes the most L's.
Yeah.
At least I was catching some wins with the long hair.
Right.
Let me grow it back real quick.
He said, "Let me get the shag back.
Let me grow it back real quick." That's when shit was on the up and up for me.
Exactly. Because when he showed up to the fight, I said, "Oh, that looks like OG Yamcha. That looks like the
OG Yamcha."
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. He said, "Listen, let me get back in my bag real quick. Like y'all gotta stop playing with my name. Put some respect on my fucking name. Like stop playing with me. Stop playing with me."
Yeah. And we don't ever talk about how Gohan high key stole Yamcha's cut like when he got older.
Yeah.
Like, that's definitely the Yamcha Android saga haircut.
100%. Gohan just needs the scar and then he's good.
Exact same character.
So then that panel quickly ends where Yamcha's like, "Oh, I'm sensing more convicts that way, so we'll go over there." Then we get back to Gohan and Piccolo. They are both Gohan's about to charge a Masenko, Piccolo's about to do a special beam cannon, and this was actually another really cool panel where both the Masenko and the special beam cannon combined to boom fuck up 7-3. He don't know what to do with himself. And so
my man needs milk.
He said, "Get him some milk. Get him some milk." So
anime Gohan doesn't use the Masenko enough.
Nah,
like he always leans on the Kamehameha.
Which was like young Gohan would utilize the Masenko, but
all the time.
once he got Super Saiyan, he adopted a lot of Goku moves, and it's just like but like and to like our earlier point about Toyotaro and the manga and leaning more on Gohan and Piccolo's relationship, like even the subtleties of Gohan rocking Piccolo's gi, like the only time the Goku gi was cool on Gohan was when he returned to fight Super Buu. That was
the Buu saga.
That was a dope moment. That was because it was like that was like the first time you really felt like Gohan was like paying homage to his pops, but also like really like
and technically the BoJack movie, which isn't canon.
Yeah, but that movie is actually one of my favorite Dragon Ball Z movies.
I love the BoJack movie. It's so good.
And I think it's the one movie where like you could really insert it in when canon was a thing. You could insert it in the Dragon Ball timeline and it makes sense. Where a lot of the other movies, you were just like, I don't know when this would happen. But
like both the cooler movies don't fit at all.
Yeah,
because it's supposed to be taking place like in between Frieza and the androids, and it just doesn't.
Not one bit. I have no idea when the Lord Slug movie would take place. Like
exactly.
The Wrath of the Dragon movie was actually pretty cool. I don't know when that would take place though.
With
Tapion.
What was his name? Yeah, Tapion and his brother.
Yeah. I don't know when that would take place, but that was cool just because it was different. It was different. But yeah, so they want to Spike in 7-3. Spike's like, "Yo, I know it's a last resort measure, but you got to do it." So
again, last resort for a second.
Exactly, which is switch over to the copy ability that Moro gave to him. So as he does and switches over, Guess who shows up?
Guess who's back?
Back again.
Back again. Android's back.
Tell a friend.
Where's Krillin?
Yeah, where's Krillin? 17 and 18, give them a kick right to the fucking noggin.
To the mush.
Right to the noggin. And like their entrance was just so like 17 is just cool, man. Like I'm so glad he's like back with the crew. Like he's like, yo, you sure you need me? This bull is light. Why you call me for this?
Yeah, he's just like, oh, we knocked him down with one kick. Like, why are you wasting my time?
Exactly. And for those that are leaning on us to get the summary of this chapter, the reason why the androids were called in and why Piccolo had planned this. All right, we finally see Smart Piccolo is because the androids don't have ki. So Moro's energy draining ability won't work on them. So
yeah, no chi for me, please.
Exactly. So at this point, 17 and 18 against a weakened 7-3 with a technique that doesn't affect them. Oh, this should be light. And the bull Spike, he has no idea what that means. He's just like, yo, I was just given orders. I didn't get the manual. I didn't get the instruction pamphlet. So like, what are y'all talking about?
and as a funny aside, because 18 don't get out. She don't get out the bed for less than at least 5 million.
Yo, she gets to the bag.
Capsule Corp has offered them 10 million zenny to fight.
18 is a hustler, and that exchange actually I thought was and to me, I don't know how you interpreted it, but I interpreted that as like a kind of a callback to their old Android 17 and 18 days when they were terrorizing the future, because when 18 says Capsule Core, I'm doing this because Capsule Core is giving me 10 million zenny, and 17 is like, he's like, well, don't say it like that, we sound like mercenaries. Like
yeah, that's fact. I didn't even really pick up on that. That's hilarious.
So like I was like, that's actually pretty cool, because that little exchange reminded me of the evil 17 and 18 when they were terrorizing the future and like they were doing stuff like that. So but yeah, no, I thought that was a good exchange, a smart plan. And so as it looks like they're about to come in and end 7-3 and Spike, it then turns over to Moro, who's watching this all happen, and he's like, pathetic, y'all disgust me.
This is what I'm giving you magic for,
right? So
should have left y'all asses in prison,
right? And Sagambo's like, I'm sorry, Moro. Like there are some we didn't know fighters were this strong on Earth. Like, yo, I know y'all just got out of jail.
Yep, the bad guy scouting report in Dragon Ball is always outdated.
You couldn't tell me there was one person. There wasn't anyone there that's like, hey, now that we're out of the prison and we're basically taking over this place, there's got to be somewhere where we can get intel and really figure this out, because they just showed up blind and were like, oh shit, these motherfuckers strong. I did not know.
Who'da thunk it?
Yeah, so Moro's now like, all right, I guess I'll show up. I might as well get some food. So he's the last panel that we see Moro in this chapter. He goes, now who will first be on my menu? And the chapter then ends. It switches over to, oh yeah, that's right, Vegeta is still training and he's still on Yardrat. And actually, one detail I did forget to mention in the very beginning of the chapter, where they're asking where Goku and Vegeta are, where they know that Goku is on his way back, but they said Vegeta, no one can get in contact with him. They don't know what's going on. So we go to Yardrat, where Vegeta is still wrapping up his training, and the elder Yardratian, or whatever you want to call him, he's like, hey, can you feel what's going on Earth? You gonna go help? Like, you over here with me, what you doing here? Yeah. And Vegeta,
he's like, you don't
yeah, exactly. And Vegeta, 1, he's like, nah, I want to finish my training, and 2, he's like, Moro hasn't entered the fight yet, so there's no need for me to go there. Which, to be honest with you, I love that he said that, and I love because I hope that after this arc and after the future arcs and superhero, like, I hope that when it comes to threats, I hope Goku and Vegeta start taking that approach, and they're like, we don't need to show up. Like, we'll show up when we need to show up. And that way too.
If it's apocalypse now,
yeah,
like, where we
because that way it forces Gohan especially to stay up on his training. It forces everyone to not rely on those two so much and be like, so that for the other, like it's like when in Marvel when they call on Captain Marvel, hey, only hit this button for an emergency
in case of emergency.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely a great parallel.
Like that's
sure.
what needs to happen with
and
Goku and Vegeta at this point.
Yeah, and it also speaks to Vegeta's battle IQ. Like he knows, among learning other things, he's also there to try to learn instant transmission. So it's just like me leaving now to take days to get there versus like me thugging it out and learning the technique and I can get there instantly.
Yep.
Does make sense.
Yeah, exactly. And then the last panel is just a funny one of Goku on a planet that looks like the Galactic Patrol King's species.
Dick he likes to grab so much.
Yeah.
He's right at home. He said yes.
Yeah, whatever his species is, he's on that planet and he's asking them how to get back to Earth. So that's that.
Yep. The ending didn't end too strong.
Yeah, no, but it was
a good chapter.
It was kind of cute.
It was a good chapter. Facts.
So, Mr. Border, out of 7 Dragon Balls, 7-star Dragon Balls, what are you giving this chapter?
I'm gonna get this one a 5.
Damn it!
Again, I know. Right? I was happy I got to go first.
Damn it!
So yeah, the ending was ass. Like the ending kind of took some points away.
Yeah.
But again, we beat the dead horse, but I mean it's apropos. But like putting the shine on other people who are characters that we know. It's not even like they're just like in and out, like, you know, forgotten memories. Like we have bonds and relationships and moments that we share with Tien and Chaozu and Yamcha and Krillin and stuff. So it's just like let them do what they do.
Exactly.
Like they're the ZFighters. Like let them do like what it is that they do. So getting to see them put in work, and the fact that we don't see Goku and Vegeta at all in the chapter until literally like the last 2 pages, and then the setup for what we got coming on is very, very exciting. So I'm going 5. What say you, good sir?
I'm just gonna make it easy, and hey, what Matt said, I agree. I know people want debate, but look, we may not always give y'all debate, but we give y'all funny commentary. So at least we make it entertaining for y'all.
You know it.
But hey, Matt, you know the people can find us at DB4L_pod on Twitter and Instagram, because I know we are told we gotta keep saying that, and I remembered this time. Bam!
Look, we both want to keep driving that point home, and then you can listen to us every week on Anchor and Spotify, and we are in the process of getting up on Apple and Google Podcasts. So we are going to broaden our horizons, because I know a lot of y'all been asking, particularly Apple users, for us to get there. So we're gonna make it happen for y'all.
Yes, sir.
Surely.
So once again, we thank all the lifers for tuning in. Keep on supporting. Mr. Porter, take us away.
You already know. Remember, starting next week, content change. We're going to be reviewing 2 chapters each episode, just to kind of power through the Moro arc, because we are nearing the finish line. We are almost at the end. And then, like Trav was saying, we do got something special for y'all after the Moro arc, because we're going to do a little pivot, make a little change between we move on to the arc that comes after that. And we'll, give you a little bit more, start to reveal, tease a little bit as we get closer. But like Trav says, we're going to close this bad boy out like we say every week. Whether you watch it or you read it, we all need it. So follow your fandom right back here, and we will see you next time on Dragon Ball For Life. Bow! Dodon Ray. Yeah. Shout out to super producer Mikey.
Love you, Mikey.
Girl.